Alright people, it's been a long time. Redbird 1983 here, otherwise known as Dan from Lock Tech. It's been a while since I made a picking video. Been pretty busy lately. I've got a pretty special lock here. This particular lock was sent to me from a good friend. Goes by the name of Wiz for you YouTube people. Pretty interesting lock. My understanding of this lock was it's been through quite a few hands. Is yet to be picked open, and it was sent to me with one request, and that was to get it open. I was able to do that. I was also able to make a working key for this lock. Now this is a 7-pin lock made by Assa alloy. It's marked ASSA number 2 on the front. That's a Ruko 2. Pretty interesting lock. Got some markings up top here. I don't know if you can see that. GKE. My understanding was that this lock originated somewhere in Finland, I believe. When I went to order some keys to make keys to this lock, I ordered the master keyway for this series, and even though that was the master keyway, I still had to do some modifications to the milling of the lock. I actually had to hand file some of this out in order to make this blank actually fit into the cylinder, but I was able to pick this open and make a working key for it. This is a pretty interesting lock and all. I'd love to hear the story behind this lock, know where it came from. There was actually some modifications to the plug inside that I haven't really seen in any other lock. Pretty interesting, and it was mastered on 2 pins. So, pretty interesting lock. So in any case, I'm going to be picking this open for you today. I'm going to be using some pretty basic tools. This is a rigid tension wrench that I made out of an oil dipstick tube. And the reason I like to use this type of wrench on a lock like this is because a lock like this has very tight tolerances. So it doesn't give you a whole lot in the way of feedback. And I don't want to lose any feedback to flex of the wrench, so I want something really rigid. Also going to be using a Peterson government short hook. Without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and set this thing up and get to picking. If there's enough interest in this lock after the picking video is done, let me know, rate my video, and maybe I'll do a disassembly video on this lock and try to get a close-up of some of the internals, because this lock actually had some modifications done to the inside of it that I haven't seen anywhere else, which were pretty interesting to me. So I'm going to get right to it here. Go ahead and pick this lock. Go in with the short hook, try to get this at an angle where we can see it. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm a locksmith by profession, and I've collected and picked locks for over 30 years now. So this is probably going to seem a little easier than it actually is with this lock. And you guys that have actually had this lock and actually had a chance to put a pick in this thing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, some of these pins are actually falling back as I set other ones. That's pretty common for an Assa product. The Lockwoods are famous for that. They use a barrel-shaped pin, and every time you set one pin, another one bounces back. So that's not out of the ordinary behavior for an Assa product. Okay. picked. So that's the Assa Ruko 2 7-pin lock. Picked open right here on video for you guys. Pretty interesting lock. If anybody has any more information on this lock, where it came from, maybe what the GKE up top stands for, I would be interested to hear and learn a little bit more about this lock. Definitely a pretty interesting lock. And if there's some interest in seeing what's inside the lock and checking out some of the modifications to the internals of this lock, go ahead and let me know, and I'll shoot up another video and try to get some close-ups of the internals. I'd have to do that in a separate video because it's pretty complicated on the inside of this lock. It's not like taking apart some of your other locks. It's a little more in-depth inside this lock. So there you have it. Rate my video. Let me know what you think. Take her easy.